Where is Jesus today? We are living in times that are unprecedented and events that none of us have had any experience of before. Many of us feel ill-equipped to be teachers in the home, to be carers for relatives that we can no longer visit, to be encouragers for our friends, families and neighbours when challenges confront us. In this new normal, we can no longer rely on supplies being delivered at a time we choose, or on the delivery containing exactly the items that we'd ordered. Our relationships are now conducted by phone, email, Facebook, Zoom, Skype, WhatsApp, or something similar, or not at all. Our work is unreliable. School, for those who go to school, is online. Meetings happen in virtual space, and programme reports on television are filmed from people's living rooms. I'm lucky. I have a home office and used to work from home regularly. Some of my colleagues are now working in their front rooms, and sometimes we are working in our pyjamas or our dressing gowns. We struggle with social distancing and worry about whether our children, friends, parents, etc. are okay. We miss physical contact just when we might be in most need of a hug, and we are apart from the things that give us our sense of rootedness and belonging, and an experience of faith that is relational and tactile. So where is Jesus for us in all of this? The Easter Exultet is sung in some churches at the Easter Vigil after the lighting of the Easter Paschal candle brings light into the dark building. It is full of imagery of light and transformation, written in language of now, but also of not yet. It contains these words: Jesus Christ, our King, is risen. Darkness vanishes forever. In Matthew's account, we see the dramatic moment when there is an earthquake and the stone is rolled away from the tomb. Jesus has risen, just as he said he would. But this is a reality that feels life-changing and transformatory. And yet, darkness remains. There is still work to do. There is a world that needs resurrection hope. Matthew, of all the gospel writers, is keen to remind us that the resurrection offers hope for the whole world, even though it begins in personal encounter. In our Acts reading, we heard that hope, that story, the good news being taken to the Gentiles, leaving the Jews and going out into the rest of the world. The resurrection happens in the now, in a garden where an angel announces the news to curious women, where the risen Christ appears on the road and the disciples hear the news with astonished amazement. The darkness of the past days is suddenly transformed into light by the news that Jesus has risen. It changes now, but it is also an event that can change the future. We too are witnesses to the new normal of the resurrection. Are we ready? Bearing witness to the new normal is work that belongs to us all, and it is rooted in our everyday lives. Just as Jeremiah described the hope of restoration for God's people in an image from the everyday, Again, you shall plant vineyards and enjoy the fruit. Where can we see signs of hope in the new normal of our world? I'm going to read a poem. Easter 2020. Everything was silent and still. Nothing moved in the just before dawn darkness. Life seemed suspended, as if by a slim thread, delicate as a cobweb in the hushed air. Where there had been footsteps, slow or frantic, wandering or hurrying, now there was only gently rustling leaves in the whispering trees, and the lonely cry of a slow waking bird, piercing the gloom with its silver song. Did anyone hear? There was silence in the street, silence in the lanes and the alleyways behind the houses. Playgrounds and parks lay deserted, games and conversations interrupted. The swings rest still and empty, and the slides shine eerily in the half-light. No movement here. As day was dawning, there was no silence outside the hospital. Instead, the loud wailing of a siren, the rumble of trolley wheels, and the frantic clang of metal on metal as the doors of the ambulance swing open. Here, as in every hospital and ICU in the country, staff stand on the edge of a new day, knowing more than most the precious balance of body and soul that keeps us in this world, holding on to life. While it was still dark, shelf stackers and refuse collectors, shop assistants, care home staff and transport workers, the underpaid, unappreciated and often unassuming, make their weary way home. Transport hubs are stilled as trains rattle down the tracks out of town, carrying their socially distanced passengers to rest in suburbia. Small mercies. As day breaks, yesterday's news is silenced by the new horror of the headlines and the casual graphs of death. A single leaf unfurls from the unclenched fist of its bud. Two women hurry along a road, and an angel as white as snow, for the moment unobserved and unannounced, is poised to roll the stone away from the tomb. Let us pray. King of love, we come to lay at your feet the costly offering of all that we have and all that we are. We are empty-handed. Meet us here. Give us courage for the week ahead and joy in the everyday hope around us. May we lean on your faithfulness and rest on a love stronger than death that will never let go. Amen. On the next slide, we shall sing a hymn together. Father, hear the prayer we offer. Please, as you go into that slide, put yourself into a prepared state for prayer and treat this hymn as part of our prayer that's going to follow.